Yo, what's going on, guys? Matthew V. Haynes here, aka the Clockmaster. I'm here with my wife,
Shannon, aka Cosmic Bank.
and we are here to check out episode 3 for
Ahsoka.
Yeah. Man, last week was a great premiere. So if you are new to the channel and you want to see our reaction, you're interested in seeing what we had to say for the last 2 episodes, please make sure to go ahead and check out those reactions. They're linked somewhere in the description box below and somewhere on the channel. Make sure to go ahead and check that out. But it was a great premiere for huge Rebel fans like us.
Are they gonna say for Rebels?
No, it's for huge Rebel fans like us, and for just people who just really love Ahsoka. And it was just amazing. I don't want to recap too much from last week's episodes, but did you have any like brief thoughts or anything you wanted to say to any of the newer folks that are here?
I mean, I'm excited to like see the journey of this, because like you said, last week's episodes were really good.
Yeah.
So I just want to see like how they're going to play it forward, like what exactly they're doing, and just go from there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
no, I think, look, one of the best premieres. I think they're setting up for this series to be like, just, I don't know, it's gonna be like, this might just be a little biased, okay? I just think it's already like topping how, just Mando.
it's definitely biased.
It's definitely biased. Mando still has about like what, 3 seasons now?
Yeah,
3 seasons under his belt.
Yeah.
So I can't really make that bold claim yet.
Yeah.
We're only 3 episodes in, and it could just be the excitement talking.
Yeah.
Mando still has 3 seasons under its belt, so I can't really make such a bold claim yet. But I'm aware of that. Okay, I'm very self-aware, okay, of my opinions and things like that. So, but point is, I'm excited for a new project like this, and I'm just waiting to see what we do in the next episode. It's just gonna be exciting. So
this episode.
Well, that's what I mean, because we didn't start it yet. But
you said the next episode, like we finish this.
But no, I mean like the next episode, like we're about to start the next episode. So, anyways, so make sure to check out our full reaction on Patreon if you're interested in seeing our entire reaction to this entire series going forward, and check out our movie reactions on the channel as well, because we do a lot of movie reactions here, as well as movie reviews and things such as the sort. And if you're fans of the Wheel of Time, that's gonna be, the reaction is gonna be up for that hopefully by Friday, at least the first 2 episodes. It's gonna be a really busy weekend for us. Minimum first 2. So and we're gonna be doing discussions for those going forward every week after that, so stay tuned for that. So anyways, let's just get right into it, and we'll talk about it later as you normally do. And I keep forgetting, don't forget to check out Shan's channel. Too much plugs. Don't forget to check out Shan's channel. Link is in the description box below. We're planning some horror movie reactions over on her channel.
Because it's spooky season.
She's the horror person, so most, if not all, of the horror movie reactions will be going on her channel. So if you're interested in that, check out the link down below. So anyways, let's get right into it. Talk about it later as we normally do. Let's get into it now. Okay, I'm actually seeing some of the forms that we train in here, and I'm very happy about that.
Look at her arms, bro.
Right.
Well,
that's interesting.
Not bad, but not good.
Dang.
it's been a while. Enough to get by.
Barely.
Try something else.
Huyang ain't playing around, bro.
No.
Learning to wield the Force takes a deeper commitment.
Excuse me? Learning to wield the Force?
Something you'll have to discover. Well,
excuse
I
me?
discovered that according to Huyang, I'm the worst candidate to be a Jedi.
Oh boy, so we're actually gonna try to see her train?
I can't see. How am I supposed to fight?
Huh.
I want you to see with more than just your eyes.
Y'all, this big, bro. Y'all, this is big.
Yeah.
This is some big stuff, y'all.
Kanan had to learn.
I know, but they're hinting that she can use the Force?
You'd be dead.
Maybe just trying to help her use her senses.
Exactly. Now lower your visor and concentrate. Follow my voice.
Y'all looking sus.
Sense my intention.
Okay.
There you go.
That's very Sabine though. She gets frustrated very quickly.
Very.
When Kanan was teaching her,
Yeah.
this is what it was like. She was just getting easily frustrated.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, there we go. Getting there.
It's a journey.
To me, that's a little bit of progress.
Yeah.
I really like that sequence.
Anger and frustration are quick to give power, but they also unbalance you.
I honestly think she did pretty good.
For the first shot, yeah.
The music during that scene and the whole training sequence, y'all, this is just amazing to me, man.
Time to fly.
I'm not gonna talk about
Rocky.
Huh?
Said time to fly. So okay, Rocky.
I'm not gonna talk about my personal training, but it just reminds me of that.
Hera, you look well. How's young Jason?
Ah,
Chancellor, in fact, he's on board.
Jason!
Somewhere.
Oh, we need to see him.
Chopper, no doubt.
We're late as it is.
Quite right, Senator Ziono.
You're the issue.
Nobody likes you, no.
My investigation into the attack on the Vesper led me to the Santhe shipyards on Corellia. Still working for Morgan Elspeth.
Outliers.
Yes, but I believe their activity speaks to a larger operation.
Yep.
Yep.
Involving Thrawn.
Grand Admiral Thrawn. But how is that possible? He disappeared years.
Cause you're working with Thrawn, bro.
I don't know about that. Those other two seem more sus.
To find Ezra Bridger.
Ezra vanished while fighting Thrawn.
And that you conveniently use a threat of Thrawn's return to acquire those resources.
Were you ever in the war, Senator?
No.
Didn't think so.
Just sat back and waited to see who came out on top?
I mean, speaking like it is, Hera, she don't be.
I see no enemy. The Imperial fleet is scattered and broken. They have
You don't see it because it's under your nose.
Thrawn is not your typical Imperial officer. I know because I fought against him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He literally invaded her house.
Allow me a moment to speak with my colleagues.
I mean, it's more than about Ezra. Obviously, Ezra has a lot to do with it. This is what Kanan was trying to prevent. Jason!
Now, where did you hear that?
Chopper told me.
Jason!
I want to be a Jedi.
Yes, you will
You
be!
do, Jason.
Just like your daddy!
Oh.
Just like your daddy! Look at his face! Yo, I can't, bro! Yo, I can't! Oh, Jason!
Oh. Okay, I'm happy now.
The Force resides in all living things, even you.
If that's true, then why doesn't everyone use it?
Talent is a factor,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but training and focus are what truly defines someone's success.
Some people are more connected to the Force.
Yeah.
Like I said, the Knights of Ren were all Force users, but they all could only use it a little bit. They've been preaching that same message for years, that the Force is around everything of all living things. But like she said, not everyone has the patience or the natural talent. It just so happens that the Jedi happen to be people who are like prodigies or not have a natural heightened sense towards the Force.
Right.
Jedi Order would not have accepted her. She is not an acceptable candidate.
I mean, he's not lying about that too.
Yeah.
Standards which were proven over a millennia.
And failed.
You realize, historically, there have been very few Mandalorians who ever became a Jedi.
Yeah, so they're saying I'm one with the Force is with me. I'm one with the Force is with me. And then maybe it'll work for you.
Yeah.
A lot of it has to do with belief too.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, I won't be joining you for this one. And neither will the fleet.
What?
The Senate Committee...
Politics.
The Senate committee?
Situation in order to avoid enemy surveillance.
He's still doing this?
I mean, to be fair, it makes sense though for
Yeah.
this.
My last scan indicates the transport was in orbit on the far side of the planet.
They're trying to go to another galaxy. Oh boy.
Oh god.
It got me really thinking if that's Ezra. Them theories about him being Ezra really got me going right now. See the tail gun? Now that's something I can do.
She ain't no stranger to that.
Nope.
I see you got rid of my presets. I never needed them.
You never get rid of presets, man.
No.
Now's not the time for a lesson.
Yes, it is.
Always a time for a lesson.
See that she's trying to work with her.
Yeah.
That's what she got to do. Sabine has her own way of doing things. Damn.
Right.
I mean, you know us. Hey, look. You know who Ahsoka's pilot trainer was?
Tano.
I love a good space dogfight.
There you go.
There you go.
Teamwork makes a dream work.
Yep. I love that ship so much. Dang, bro, Sabine ain't playing out here with y'all, man.
Bro.
Yep, let's see what this monstrosity is. Woo! It's a big hyperspace ring for a bigger ship.
Mm-hmm.
They call him Morok, and I knew that, but that could just be a name.
Yeah.
See if you can get a little closer. Are you closer, please?
Yeah. Huyang need that data, bro. You gotta get closer.
It's his mannerisms.
Right.
So funny.
You gotta love a good droid.
Morgan's so scary because you just don't know the extent of anything with her.
Yeah. Hyper. Oh.
Yeah.
Destroyed.
God, please tell me. Like I said, I don't want another destroyed ship.
Out where? Just keep working. I'll just.
Oh God, what's Ahsoka about to do?
Right. Oh shoot.
Oh damn.
So god.
She has a suit on.
But still, I'm just trying to see what she about to do.
Golly.
If you see her, it's too late.
Jeez. Yep. Is she about to Ray Palpatine this? Dang, bro. Woo! Golly.
Dang, girl.
Did you fix the ship yet?
The casual float by.
That's very Ahsoka.
Yes.
Oh man, I would have figured that suit would have some thrusters on it. I'm not gonna question the reality of re-entering an atmosphere at that speed. We're just gonna ignore it. She found the temple area. Oh, the Purgil!
Wow.
Purgil.
Oh, that's so cool. That just gave me instant.
Right.
Oh, you got your friends on your side now, boy.
Look at how he's looking. God, she's always had these intense eyes. Ooh. That leads Sabine.
Hey, bruh. She spent a lot of time with Hera.
And Mandalorian for you.
Died multiple times.
Ah, yes. Standard operating procedure.
Yeah.
He knows the vibe by now.
Ahsoka looked like a proud mom in that second. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's gonna see all the artifacts and everything.
So vibey.
Right.
Did we see him in the trailer?
Morok?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah, we have.
Are you all right?
Haven't seen those creatures since the day Ezra disappeared.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Can't really believe in that now, bruh.
Green galaxies, which used to follow the migration paths of star whales named Purgil.
Yeah.
I like how they find a way to teach the new people about Purgil.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're finding a new way to teach people who didn't watch
Yeah, they can't
watch
just,
Rebels about Purgil.
You know, you get a better experience if you watch Rebels, but they're gonna.
Yeah, they're finding a way to teach you.
Yeah.
I'm really interested about Baylan's story.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, man, we could have used like another 20 minutes on this joint.
Yeah, you would have had me. I felt like it just started.
Yeah.
Gosh, I could have sat here for another 2 hours.
I really could, you know. But that's how you know something's good.
Yeah, time just flies by.
Yeah, I literally could have sat there for like another 2 hours, man. That's wild. Good news is I'll get this edit done super fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are I've been seeing a theory go around online. I don't know exactly who created this theory or who crafted this theory.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how it came to be, but I've been seeing a theory that I almost said MODOK.
MODOK is Ezra.
Yeah, I was seeing a theory that Morok is Ezra. Now, here's how and why it could work. You know what? Let me actually put a timer on and just put a note to that, because I don't want to just spend too much time on that. But before we get to that, your general thoughts on the episode?
No, the episode in general was really good. Got, all the Star Wars-y things. You got Sabine's training. You got, space fights and, all the cool stuff. And we're getting the information about the hyperdrive and what that's entailing now.
Right.
So everything that was about to unfold in the next few episodes. And now we're seeing the Purgil too. So there's a lot happening.
If we go through the episode, we got I'm not gonna do like a whole episode analysis thing. I'm just gonna
because we can
be here all day,
like literally everything.
But first things I wanted to note while I'm here, and I have my timer on just to make sure that I'm not over talking. Sabine's training.
Yeah.
As for those who don't know, I am a practitioner of the traditional samurai arts. I've been doing so for over a year with my dojo and without my dojo on my own as well. And I even got my father into the training as well. He practices he trains at our at our sister dojo. And we to see this type of training and using like ancient Jedi terminology for the kata, because it looked like if she was doing kata, which is very similar to the kenjutsu kata that we do in our traditional samurai in our classical bujutsu training. And it looked very similar to the kata, and I love the formation and the footwork and all of that. That whole sequence is very nice for me. Them using boken as well for that was really good, because like before we would always see like and it's not the first time we've seen them use bokuto or use boken, right? Like we've seen them use it at different points in like Clone Wars and Rebels. You've seen Padawan use the boken before, so it's not like it's the first time we're seeing the boken, but it's just really cool to see that type of training, and with Huyang as well, getting into that. So as someone who is a practitioner of kenjutsu and bujutsu, I'm really excited to see that. Just made me happy, because stuff like Star Wars and Akira Kurosawa films and everything is what got me into being interested in like samurai training in general. So seeing them kind of like go back to their roots, because Star Wars always has a way of going back to its roots in Western films, which Dave Filoni is also a huge fan of, and also samurai movies, especially Akira movies, right, where you see the big standoffs. And again, that's one of the reasons why I love, in Mandalorian, the episode The Jedi. I always say this all the time, it's my favorite episode in the Mandalorian, not just because of Ahsoka, because that's not only where we saw her, but also because of the gunplay with like the Western,
the gunslinger,
right, the gunslinger thing between Mando as well. So I like it. That episode was like the perfect love child of both of those genres. In recent things for Star Wars, and we've always had it too with Cad Bane as well. He was kind of like a good homage to that.
He's the original gunslinger.
Yeah, like with Cad Bane, having him in Boba Fett as well, and before Boba Fett, obviously Clone Wars. Just having him there, he was a good like homage to that genre. So, anyways, just to not ramble too much on that point, the point is I really enjoyed that sequence in the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
And it's just a great love letter to all the traditional samurai films and the style, you know, showing that the Jedi arts got its inspiration from Bujutsu and from Kenjutsu and samurai arts. And that's something that I think is really cool that they did that in this episode. Obviously, they tweaked it around a bit to fit the Star Wars lore because the kata isn't exactly the same, but it's very similar, and I like that. That was really cool. So that's something that stood out to me.
Also with this, especially in her training sequence, you can really see how well or not even how well, but like that, just making sure that they stayed true to Sabine's character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just because Sabine is a type to, she's kind of a hothead.
Yep. I'll actually do something different. I'll pull this up for well, actually no, this isn't filming anymore, so I'll just pull this up.
But yeah, Sabine is a hothead, so she gets very frustrated very easily. Yeah. And I mean, obviously you're seeing it here. Like, they're trying to be very true to that.
Is that fireworks?
I'm trying to figure out. Either that or like a car.
Yeah, a car backfiring. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no, they're being very true to her character and very true to Hera's character as well.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that in a second.
But
we're gonna get to that in a second.
Yeah, but that's just another thing I was very happy about with that whole sequence.
But yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, like, I'm just glad that they're really trying to make sure she stays true to her character, and I think even like the actress, you know, I think she's doing an amazing job.
Yeah, Natasha's killing it.
She's killing it.
She's truly embodying Sabine. Yeah. And there's one thing, if you got, again, I can't stress this enough, please watch Rebels. You have enough time between now and next week to get some more episodes in.
Yeah. At least get an idea of the characters.
Like, you can watch a video on YouTube, it's just not the same, y'all. It's just really not the same, man. Because again, I do like that they're finding ways to give you, for people who don't understand or have familiarity with the characters, to understand where they come from, how they think, and things like that, their mannerisms, their behavior. So, you know, and even mentioning things like the Purgil, which we'll get to. I'm trying to like fast forward to like very specific spots of the episode without staying too long on the points. But Sabine is very she has a what's the word, is low temper very, is that a correct term, or is it be high temper? I can't know what I'm trying to say here. She has a high temper and a very low tolerance for patience, if that's the best way to explain it.
I guess, yeah.
She has a low tolerance.
Yeah. She doesn't have a lot of patience.
She doesn't have a lot of patience. She's very hot-headed. She's very she has a lot of ADHD traits, to be honest with you. As somebody who has ADHD, she definitely has like some traits for that, for sure, because she just can't sit still for too long. She can't, you know, she has to be doing something. Yeah. Her patience level is like non-existent. So, which, you know, Huyang mentions that, like, yo, she really would be like the worst candidate for a Jedi. Oh yeah, because absolutely. You need to have some level of patience.
She doesn't have a level head when it comes to training or, you know, working through something.
And it's also not the Mandalorian way, too. You know, the Mandalorian way, like, we even saw this, and it depends on the Mandalorian, too, though, because we saw this in Mando season 3, where they went to that planet with Grogu, and Bo was like trying to do things in like an espionage kind of like fashion, and here's you know, Dan was like, time for this, man. So I think it just depends on the Mando. But then again, Sabine, Bo comes from a royal line of family, so their training is a little bit different. Sabine also comes from a high-ranking family too. This is things you'll learn if you watch the show. But like, Sabine comes from a high-ranking family as well, and obviously like her mother, like her family, ended up working with Saxon because they were just trying to survive. But they also had a really strong name as well. So the Wren clan was pretty big. So, I mean, but Sabine has always just been a rebel. She's always had this like core.
Even if the very brief moment we saw her armor, you can tell it's not like other Mandalorian armor.
Yeah,
she's always been rebellious and kind of does her own thing, like whatever she wants to do
on her own terms, at her own time. So she doesn't like authority, you know. So, but and to mention this last thing, we'll move on because I'm really trying not to make this an hour-long video,
guys,
of breakdown.
It really could,
because there's a lot to discuss here.
Yeah.
And we have a week, so might as well. We're filling in the extra gap for the lack of an extra 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
When Kanan was training her to use the darksaber, when she came across it, when they went to go raid the Night Sisters camp, when they went to Dathomir, and she came across the darksaber. She took it, didn't know how to use it. Kanan was training her. And she had the same exact attitudes. And Fen Rao, who's also another Mandalorian, was with them at the time. And he was like, look, you can't do things like a Jedi. You're a Mandalorian. And he was like giving her like little tricks and like, you know, you can use this. So she was easier to just go to her roots. It was hard for her to adapt to the Jedi way and the Jedi style of training. And even then, you know, Kanan was a very different type of Jedi than Ahsoka.
Yeah.
You know, but Ahsoka did respect him as a Jedi.
Right.
He officially became a knight from, you know, the temple guards and everything. But, you know, he officially got his knighthood. But like his style of training was vastly different than Ahsoka's.
He didn't get his full training for one. He had a completely different master with a completely different style. And he kind of resented the Jedi Order for a while,
time. Yeah, and he had to adapt. He never even really used his saber for a while.
Yeah, so he had to come back into a completely different, you know, way of doing things, and then, you know, going on to try to train Sabine in the darksaber is going to be completely different than how Ahsoka is even training her now.
And if you read the book with Kanan and Hera back in the early days, he would rarely use his lightsaber.
Yeah.
And that was shown in like season 1, where he would always like have to reconnect it because he never really used it like that. It was more of a necessity kind of thing. He was more prone to using the guns and maybe the Force if they were getting overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But he was trying, and obviously that was in an attempt to conceal his identity as a Jedi as well, because you know he ran away, and the good thing in Bad Batch too, this all connects, guys.
Yeah, there's.
If you watch Bad Batch, just watch the animated stuff.
Watch all the animated stuff, because this is.
In Bad Batch, we saw Kanan, we saw him lose his trust for clones too.
Yeah.
And that also put him on a path of mistrust.
Yeah.
So there's so much to really unpack here, guys. But either way, the point is, you know, just with Sabine and the training, she had a lot of resentment. Eventually, she got the hang of how to use it, and she was able to even use the darksaber to beat Saxon, to beat Gar Saxon. So, you know, that she was able to get to master it to a point where she was able to use it, but it still wasn't enough to be, because after that, she just ended up handing the darksaber to Bo-Katan anyways.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Sabine is a very complex character.
Yes.
And you're not going to fully understand the complexity from just this.
Yeah. But you know what? I feel like they're doing a good job of just showing people who she is with her actions here.
Definitely.
You know?
But there's definitely a whole lot more to her than people are going to fully see.
Yeah, it's just, you know what? And
there's a lot of backstory to her.
There's some people that will never ever watch those.
Yeah.
And you know what? In my opinion, you're lost, but you know, it's not going, all it will do is just add more to this. However, I still feel like the story does stand alone in a way.
Yeah, no, they do a good job of kind of showing the characters as they are, rather than, you know, going into a full backstory and I
will say it's going to be more of like an exploration thing for non-Rebel watchers and non-animated series watchers, because people are still going to be like, who is this Hera person? Who is she? What's she about? And if maybe they played the games and they might, because she is in Star Wars Squadrons, so maybe they might have seen her in Squadrons or something, right? Like, so it's like they may say, oh, I recognize her from the game. Okay, cool. But like people might be like, okay, who is this Sabine person? Who is she? You know, this is like a new character to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're doing a pretty good job, but a lot of people they're gonna have more questions. Oh man, I want to know. If anything, hopefully if they don't watch, you know, the animated series before this, hopefully by the end of the season, they'll be like, you know what? I want to know more about this Sabine character. I want to know more about this Rebel crew. They seem cool. Yeah. Let me go back and see this. And, you know, so maybe they'll go back. Maybe it'll prompt you guys to go back and watch the series.
This whole show, like we've said last week, this whole show is... Obviously, it's called Ahsoka.
Yes.
But the whole point of this is we're finding Thrawn, we're finding Ezra.
Yes.
And what do those characters mean to someone who has never seen the depth of those characters?
And the thing is, for people who never watched Rebels, but they read the extended or expanded universe content, they know who Thrawn is. Right. Because Thrawn was already established in that before Dave brought him back to Rebels and made him canon in the canon timeline. So and I want to get to Rebels. I want to get to the Star Wars Old Republic and some other expanded universe theories as well, but I don't know if I have time for that in this video, because there's been seen some theories as well that the other universe could contain timelines of like the Old Republic and maybe some other different storylines because the Old Republic has a whole different timeline with a whole different set of different characters, a whole different bunch of different players. The extended or expanded universe or whatever stuff that got, you know, shelved, which this canon does steal a lot from. They could be stealing some inspiration from that universe, because in that universe, Luke had mad kids. Yeah, like, I do know. You know, he had a couple different wives. There was also clone versions of him. Yeah, no, which, there definitely
could be like taking some inspiration from certain things, and I mean it would be smart of them to do so. Yeah, for fans of that universe.
Yeah, so. And I mean, the expanded Star Wars Legends, I would say there's so much storylines in those comic books and books. Yeah. Well, how different things played out. Like, so many different things played out. There was like a whole bunch of other like people, like magic wielders and different types of subgroups of people that, you know, so going into that other universe can open a lot of opportunities. But anyways, let's just skip forward. I know I'm not going to skip through, analyze everything. We already talked about this segment, so we'll move forward. The only thing I will say, just to close this off, is I did like that they touched on the fact that anyone can use the Force. Yeah. Not everyone can use the Force, if that makes sense. Or everyone has the ability to tap into the Force, but not everyone has the time nor the patience or the talent to make use of it, and that's why most can't. Yeah. And I also saw a video last night about, it was from Jedi Survivor, but no spoilers. But it was like, what if, you know, lightsabers were lore accurate? And I have to show you that video. It was like, dude, it made you actually realize how dangerous a lightsaber is, because technically, if you're cutting someone, you're supposed to cut through their body, bro. Yeah. Like, it's not gonna be like, you know, Jedi Fallen Order, where you're hitting a clone trooper like 5 times and they're still standing up. Like, technically, you should be cutting through them. Yeah. And it, you know, that goes to show you that why everyone can't use a lightsaber, because it takes special training not for you to accidentally cut your foot off.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a high beam. Yeah. Sword
that can just
with tons of energy put inside this little thing. Yeah. So it's like, that's a lot of matter, dude. And it's like cutting it's hot, it's heavy, it's light, like it has different weights, and light is supposed to be weightless. That's another conversation too, but we're not gonna get to that.
Well, it's the weight of the Force.
It is also the weight of the Force. A good point. So, but then again, what about people who, you know, like Boba Fett, who also used like things like the Darksaber and lightsabers before? Know what I mean?
All right, moving forward.
Light is technically weightless, but I don't like to think of a lightsaber as just light. I like to think of it more as like a beam of energy. I don't know. I think I like to think of it more. Well, laser. Okay.
That's a whole other conversation.
It is a whole other conversation, but you know how I like to think of it? I like to think of it as you ever seen like the lightsaber Gundam swords? No. Like whenever I'm not gonna show you a video or anything, just a picture for reference. Okay, it looks like that, just for reference. So the Gundam uses kind of like a lightsaber thing, but it's more like a beam. It's kind of like a mini jet that's shooting out a bunch of like, I don't know, like think of like a space rocket, right? I like to think of a lightsaber like that, even though that's not really the composition of it. But anyways, that's just that's where my head is at, and we're gonna move on from that. But anyways, we're gonna move on from that subject, from that lightsaber conversation. But anyways, point is, the lightsaber is a dangerous tool. Not everyone can use it. Yeah. And it requires very special training. And so, but it goes to show that maybe Sabine could have a talent for it, maybe develop small amounts of the Force, because I keep mentioning the Knights of Ren. In that comic book, they talked about each member of the Knights of Ren was a Force user. They all could use the Force to a degree. It was very minimal. That's why they never used, like, they use blunt weapons and like sharp objects. They never really can't be Force pushing people around because they don't have the training to master it. So Jedi spend years since they're a child. It's like the old samurai way. The old samurai way, you would start training from the time you were a child. Yeah. They would take you in. You would train back in the olden days, and you would be training from, because most men didn't make it off the battlefield. Most men probably lived up to like 19, 21 years old. Some of them were able to live older and become senseis and have their own land and have their own, open up their own little, schools and things like that if they survive. But most men on the battlefield back in those days in feudal Japan, they never made it past like their mid-20s if they were lucky. So they were, but at that point, they had already been like a good 20 years in their career, training. So point is, Padawan Jedi spend their entire lives, you have to have practice celibacy, you got to practice abstinence, you got to practice all these different things in order to manage the Force and to tap into it and to really get to that point. So it's, I like to think of it like I don't know whether you believe in it or not, like monks, that master their chi or whatever. I'm not going to make it a whole esoteric conversation, but people who like hermits and people who live in the mountains and isolate themselves, people who isolate themselves from the world just to get to that point of enlightenment or whatever. So point is, Sabine can get there, but it might be harder for her to get there. And so we'll just have to see where that storyline goes. Let's move on from that. I wanted to avoid this because having these conversations or whatever, but this is content, okay? Let's just talk about Ezra and Morok real quick. I can't find a way to talk about that subject without it being too long. So,
well, what is the basis of it? Because I only heard about it last night from you, and that was very briefly. Well,
if I bring it up, it's going to be a longer video. If I bring up that theory right now, because it's going to end up tying it back to Thrawn and Ezra's connection to the Purgil, and also Ezra's connection to the dark side being shown through Rebels. And that's kind of where the theory is heading. But I don't know if I want to talk about that right now, because it'll just end up being a longer video. So we're just going to wrap it up here. But yeah, we're just going to wrap it up here. I spent way too long just talking about something else, but I didn't get to the Ezra conversation. If you guys want to have another video about that, just let me know, and I'll make another discussion video about that, because I think that's a theory that I do want to talk about and explore. But this might not be the place for it. So yeah, thank y'all so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. Please check out the full reaction on Patreon. If you have any thoughts and comments on the episode, please leave it down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Clockmaster and
Cosmic Banks.